They found that finance often sees a problem purely from a cost point of view. They found that finance often needed more business knowledge to ask the right questions. They said, these functions said that finance is mainly involved in accounting and reporting. They said that finance is generally risk averse, often overlooks opportunities. They lamented that sometimes finance becomes very internal focused. There was very limited influence of finance on real business. Many of these department heads said that as a consequence of all this, most other department heads lamented that finance unfortunately was not able to play a really significant role in real life decisions. Finance did the analysis, but the impact of that analysis on actual decisions was unfortunately very less. Therefore, the overall influence of finance on business partners was also very less.
As you know, in Asia we have half the world's population or half the world's mouths, some of the fastest growing economies, and amongst the lowest per capita consumptions in our categories. So what does that mean? What that very simply means is our objective in Asia is growth, growth, and growth. So what does this strategy or this ambition really demand of us? It demands really focused marketing strategies with significant investment. It requires of us a significant amount of cash so that we can deploy that behind our strategies, and outstanding processes with which we run our business. So it's really these three things that will deliver our ambition of growth, growth, and growth. So where does finance fit into all this? First and foremost, finance can play a very key role in ensuring that we enable the people who are directly responsible for delivering growth. And how do you do this? You do this by outstanding partnering and enabling people to make the right choices and make the right investments so that every dollar that we put in is more productive. It's not about policing. It's about enabling people who want to drive growth to do even better. So that's really the first. Now, having said this, to get the growth, we need a lot of cash, a lot of investment. And that's where you guys need to become the watchdogs in the business. You can truly make sure that every penny that can be saved is saved. And as we know, in businesses like ours, there is a lot of money to be saved. And the more you save, the more fuel we have to invest behind our growth strategies. And the third thing is to really oversee and ensure that key processes run at their best. That liberates people and ensures that people are focused on doing the right things rather than spending money and time doing things that are wasteful. And that's what this training program is all about. I'm delighted that each of you is here and you're participating, and I do believe that by going through this program, you will enable us to achieve our vision in Asia of growth, growth, and growth.
Before we close, I wanted to highlight a typical issue we face with most trainings. The issue we face with most trainings is that while the post-training feedback is generally good, as in people feel excited, people feel motivated about the training, we have also found that after 6 months, after a long period of time, the actual on-the-ground improvement is very little. Variety of reasons stop us from actually implementing what we have learned. Sometimes the trainees feel that they really do not have the mandates to do business partnering. Sometimes they feel they really don't have enough business knowledge to make an impact. They feel they still lack skills. They feel there is not enough time. They feel there is too much work of reporting and auditing and controls that takes most of their time. Because of all these reasons, actual business partnering behavior is limited. While your management team has committed to us that they will do everything that they possibly can to remove some of these obstacles, we want you to also commit to actually implement what you have learned. Can you please commit to just 2 specific deliverables, 2 very specific, 2 very measurable areas of work or projects which will showcase true business partnering, where you will leverage whatever you have learned in this online training module. Write down any of those 2 and then share it with your manager. Ask also for the resources and the help you need to exhibit business partnering behavior, and then a specific timeline where over 6 months you show how you have improved your financial analysis skill through this training. All the very best.
In a supply chain reconfiguration project, a proposal was being evaluated to invest in 12 new lines. Supply chain had come up with the project, borderline economics, and the lines were to run at about 600 units per minute. As you imagine in all our projects, when the economics are borderline, everything is being thrown at the project to make the economics work and to meet the hurdle rates. But nothing seemed to be working. As the financial analyst working on this project, right, as he went deeper and deeper, he found out that the Italian manufacturer of the lines was actually running the lines at up to 900 units per minute versus 600 that the project economics were based on. The financial model that was then built had line speed as one of the variables, and at-risk analysis was run. Lo and behold, the NPV of the project and the return on the project came to be most sensitive to line speed. This resulted in supply chain being given a task that they needed to go back and commit to a much higher line speed than 600 units per minute. After 2 months of testing, reconsideration, supply chain and engineering came back and they signed up for about 750 units per minute. The economics now met the hurdle rates, but the key difference was instead of 12 lines being needed, only 10 were needed to meet the same capacity requirements. With 2 less lines and a much higher speed, the economics worked, the project turned around and then it went ahead. So what happened? Basically the financial analyst, who wasn't an engineer and neither an expert on manufacturing, just by doing deep diagnostics, understanding what are the key drivers and then modeling it into the financial analysis, was able to make a huge change to the project, change the economics, got supply chain focused on the most important metric which they were not that focused on at that point in time. A clear case of how you as a finance business partner can make a heck of a lot of difference if you go deep into the project, the business, the underlying drivers that the whole project is underpinned upon.